let's talk about Alex and Albon. So, Alex, Thai racing driver, currently racing for Red Bull. Yes, I did get this in my meal deal. I don't know why. I hate this stuff, purely for the gimmick of this video. And this is my second time recording this, and I've been drinking it, and I think it tastes like battery acid, so... Now... Oh, have I gone blank? So, Alex has been, in some people's eyes, underperforming. Not mine. I don't think he has. So, Alex has had, we're 4 races into this season. Alex has had a 4th place start, a 6th place start, a 12th place start, and a 13th place start. 2 bad qualifying performances. 4th place start was at the Austrian Grand Prix, where Alex was doing alright, he was doing okay. Safety car comes out for Kimi, was it Kimi? I don't know. One of the safety cars came out. Alex got pitted for soft tyres, which almost played perfectly into his hands. Would have given him his first race win, more than likely, with him going for an overtake around the outside of Lewis at turn 4. Then Lewis understeering into him. These things happen. Okay, Alex resets, comes back Styria next week. Same place, same time. Qualifies 6th, and then finishes the race 4th, just behind Max and Valtteri and Lewis. Okay, so when we need Alex to be able to pick up points behind Max, so he finishes 4th behind the reigning world champion, his teammate in the fastest car on the grid by far, world-class prodigy Max Verstappen, and then Alex Albon. Top 4. Okay, that's a pretty good result if you ask me. Especially considering he almost won the prior race, so he's almost had a podium and a victory by this point, and now he's chasing up behind Max. We go over to Hungary. Both Red Bull drivers were having a terrible time of it, let's be honest. They were straight up spinalaing it, going all about the track. I mean, Max even crashed on his sighting lap to the grid, for Christ's sake. So Red Bull were not having a good time of it at that race. Like, let's be honest, Max hated that car at Hungary, and so did Alex. They were saying the balance was all over the place. They were having rear end instability, front end instability. It was a terrible car at Hungary. They couldn't find a component, like a mix of components that worked the car right. Alex qualified 12th. Where did he find his way up to with this car that was terrible and all over the place? 5th? Oh, behind Lewis, Valtteri, Max, and Lance Stroll. Oh, and yeah. Let's not forget that Racing Point probably has the potential to be the 2nd fastest car at some weekends this year. Like at Hungary, Lance qualified 3rd. Lance isn't a good qualifier, yet that Racing Point, in qualifying trim at least, was amazing. Max kind of mugged him off the line, but, you know, Max is Max. He does what he wants. He does what he wants. We come to Britain, where Alex has another bad qualifying, but let's not forget, he had a crash on Friday. Okay, yes, it was under his own steam. No one bumped into him or whatever. It was during practice. Definitely knocks his confidence for the weekend. But, you know, comes in, does his qualifying the next day, gets 13th. Okay, not brilliant. 13th. Did he get 13th? Where did he go? Where did he go? Nobody knows. So he gets 12th at the British Grand Prix. He actually got 13th at the Hungarian Grand Prix, I think. You know, so... not 2 great qualifying performances by far, and yes, so far in this season, Alex has been out-qualified by Max by an average of 3/4 of a second, which isn't brilliant, but, you know, Alex has extremely strong racecraft, so fight his way through the field like a right old scrappy boy. Coming up to the end of the first lap, Kevin Magnussen says he wants to ruin his own race and dips some vodka in there. Yeah, so Kevin punts himself off of Alex. I think it should... See, I keep coming back to this. I don't know if it should have been a penalty or not, because Alex was alongside at the time when they went into the braking zone. Then he decided to back out because it looked like Kevin was turning in on him. I think it was 6 1/2 dozen of the other. I said it on Dorney's channel. I think it was a fair penalty, and now I don't think it is. I said in my review. What can you do? Contradict myself, that's what. Alex gets 5-second penalty. He also came in for pit stop during the safety car period brought out by Kevin's car, and goes to the back of the rear pack on hard tyres. It looks like it could be a really long play. However, he's really not coping on them. So late into the race, he gets pitted again, goes onto the mediums. I think he fights up from like 14th to 8th while in those. So that's pretty good, and finishes behind Pierre Gasly. But you have to remember, he was having a terrible race really on those hards. He wasn't coping with the harder compound at all. He needed a bit more grip in the car. So, give him a bit more grip, starts making moves, has confidence in the car. What we also need to remember is this is Alex's first full season with Red Bull. It's his second season ever in F1. He's done 25 races. He's competing against Max Verstappen, probably one of the greatest drivers the sport will ever see by the time his career ends. And then we're expecting Alex to come in his second season and dominate him. We have to remember, in Max's first race with Red Bull, he won it. Obviously engineered by strategy. Red Bull were pushing for Max to get into that car. They wanted a reason for Daniel to fuck up and put Max in. What's going on with my Barnet? With this being Alex's first full season, we need to remember he probably doesn't have the confidence to go in and say, we need to change this on the car, we need to push development in this direction, we need to be doing this, we need to be looking here, we need to be looking here for development. He probably is very much agreeing with Max, because this is Max's team, let's not forget. We know how centred around Max Red Bull are, because they see Max as their little diamond gem that is going to earn them fortunes. Red Bull give everything to Max. They design the car around Max. No doubt that if Max is giving them input on the design direction, they're going to be pushing it in the way he wants to drive, how he wants to race, how he wants to qualify. Alex is not going to be getting a fair cut of it, is it? He's going to be on the back foot. He's going to need to be shown that he can fight Max and stand up to him, that he has earned his place at that team. And I think he has, because he would have had a podium in Brazil, would have had a win at Styria, and he has had more than good enough results. He's still bringing in the points for the team. He's getting point scoring positions. Yes, Britain, he didn't have an amazing finish. He was having a bad race. He got a 5-second penalty, got punted, had a collision at the start of the race, still came through to 8th. If anyone else did that, people would be applauding them. People want to scapegoat someone as Max's teammate, always, Daniel Ricciardo. The crash happens. It's Daniel's fault. Pierre Gasly having bad performances. Pierre needs to be cut. Pierre needs to be this. This is happening again. Red Bull like to promote talent fast, and I don't think that's a bad thing. Like Christian Horner says, they either sink or they swim. I think Alex is swimming. These performances Alex is bringing, they are where he needs to be. He needs to be getting the maximum amount of points behind Max, because they have the second fastest car most of the time. And when Racing Point have a slightly faster car, Max has the talent to make up and still put his car in the podium positions. I think Alex, given the right amount of time and put in the right team with the right car, he could be a world champion. Alex has the racecraft, he has the drive, he has the determination. He's been through so much in his life that he can prove that he can fight. Alex has had some of the toughest junior category teammates that you can get. He's had Charles Leclerc, Nick de Vries, he's raced against George Russell, Lando Norris. These are all drivers, especially George and Charles, are tipped to be future world champions. Alex has put up fights against these guys. He's won races against these guys. Yet people want to just seemingly write him off as soon as he goes against Max Verstappen. People saw what happened with Alex in Formula 2. He had a race-by-race contract, and providing he didn't get the right position in a race, he was cut from down. He would have been cut from dams. He came third overall in the season in F2, behind George and Lando. Lando's had a podium. George is on track to be a Mercedes driver at the end of next year, more than likely. And yet Alex got promoted with half a season of Formula 1 experience to be Max Verstappen's teammate, and he's only had 13 races against Max. He's had 2 bad qualifying performances and now he should be cut. Are these the reasons? What has Alex done in this season other than those 2 bad qualifying performances to be cut? I'll leave you guys with that question. If you guys have a good explanation why, let me know. Thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please, like I say, comment down below what you think, and subscribe. Thank you guys.